So, because I look like shit. Happy birthday to me, right? Um, I kind of want to explain everything that I created out before. I know I pissed off a lot of people. I really don't give a shit if I pissed you off. Um, I wanted you to feel angry. I wanted you to be angry. I wanted you to feel like I don't like this. But at the same time, like, why did I do that? Why did I want to make you angry? Like it to me it makes no sense when people come out to a certain range and then they say like, "Oh, I don't like this. I have to destroy whatever it is that you've created," even though they've spent years or months to actually create it. And then thus, because you don't like their opinion, you do everything you can to subjugate to something you don't like, and so you could destroy it, correct? You want to know why I want to irk you? Because I feel like a lot of you live in this little bubble. Like, oh, like you've never seen or never heard of someone being subjugated sexually. You've never seen someone actually being treated with true disrespect in their lives. But as soon as it comes online, it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't. It's just okay. It's just okay, right? Because it's online, it's perfectly okay because everyone else does it. But that's isn't that the same problem of what we did before? It and back in the later years, it was just okay. Like it was perfectly okay for shit to go down, but as soon as it went down, and then everybody else is like, "Oh, we don't like that," and then you hopped on the bad bandwagon, and you're like, "I don't like it for what it is. I don't like for what you do." And even for me, like when I look at you as a population, like I laugh at it. Like I think you're shitty people sometimes. I think a majority of you are shitty people. Period. Because you're not shitty because you're shitty. You're shitty because you follow in a digress to make you feel safe. And because you feel safe, you think it's okay. Like I don't respect that. Like I don't fuck with you because of that. I don't fuck with you because you think that that's okay. You're you you know what I don't like about people that follow racism so hard? It's not because you don't like racism. It's because everyone told you they don't like racism. Like you don't understand why you don't dislike racism. What is your best comeback? You're like, I went through 400 years worth of racism. I went through, or I know somebody else that has gone through that, and so which like that's racism. Like no. Let's hold up for a fucking second and let me ask you this. When this word initially came out, how did you digress the word? I mean, in the 1960s, the word did not even become that word unless we gave it power. Correct? We gave that word power, and then it came from Martin Luther King. And what did he do? Other than that he just said I had a dream. Do you even know the amount of work that Martin Luther King did, or do you not? So to me, when I see this bullshit, like you're just like, oh, a lot of people did all this work. They did a lot of stuff to make it the way it was, and then that's bullshit. No, you did not. Do you know when he got shot down by a shotgun, literally just staring out a fucking window? Do you know Malcolm X when he literally got shot down for literally propagating? Or do you even understand the difference between Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. other than I have a dream and Malcolm X said by any means necessary. Other than that, like, to me, like, this is why I don't fuck with you. This is why I don't give a fuck about what you have to say. This is why I don't care about what you say as a human being, because you don't even understand the history of it. Like, you just literally suck on the tit of information. Like, you don't even try to do a little bit of breakdown of why Malcolm X said by any means necessary. He said by any means necessary because he said he wanted reparations in order to go back to Africa. He wanted zero shit to do with America. He was done. Like, he was like, they've already fucked us. They've already used us. They've already created everything they could to get what they wanted. And he's like, we're done. Let's just go back to Africa. Let's rebuild our nations back there. And Martin Luther King Jr. said, no. We should try to inseminate ourselves into this culture. We should be trying to work harder to inseminate ourselves into the culture even more than what we should have. More. And when you come back to me off this bullshit, like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. This is what frustrates me even more. It makes me angry because, like, I don't, you talk like I don't know shit, but then you talk like you know a lot of shit as well, and then you want to say, like, as long as I get as much views as I can, as long as I get the views that I can, I'm still a winner. Like, this is why we're stuck in this little thing, as Dave Chappelle has said. We are stuck in the age of spin. And the age of spin, to me, is not even the age of spin of what he's trying to say. To me, when I look at it, the age of spin is like, as long as I can get just a little bit of fucking views, as long as I can get just a little bit more fucking views in order for me to subjugate myself to not go to work, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a little bit more to get a little bit more views from you as a viewer, because I can't do it. And I can do even shorter videos, because your attention spans are literally shortening, so you can't listen to a whole fucking thing for about 25 minutes, right? You're unable to. So I have to literally assimilate myself to go to a short amount of views to say, hey, I don't like this guy because he doesn't support what I do. He doesn't support anything that I do or say, and so which fuck him, right? And then everybody's like, hey, hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray, hip hip for fucking Ray, because I support that. But then again, I don't even know who is. I don't even know the history of it. So it's not my fault. It's not my fucking fault. It's obviously not my fault, because I don't know the history, so I have to blame everybody else because I don't understand the history of what was actually going on. So here I am in my fucking birthday, laughing at your bullshit because you don't even know the difference between Malcolm X or even Martin Luther King Jr. And then you want to assimilate yourself because I said one word, correct? You want to assimilate yourself because I said one word, right? That's what you want to say. I have to be this guy that has to fucking clean up a fucking mess. Yeah, and guess what? I am a trash god. Because you know what? I have to clean up all your bullshit that you don't even know how to assimilate too. You don't even know how to understand the difference. But to me, you know the reason why I can do the shit that I do? Because I'm not trying to get paid. I'm not trying to kiss your ass. I'm not trying to be your fucking friend. I don't want to be your fucking friend. I don't want to be your BFF. I want to say, maybe you're fucking wrong. And hopefully, I have other people that say, I'm wrong too. I want people to say, hey, you're being an arrogant asshole, Shiloh. You're a fucking arrogant asshole. Like, you don't know shit. You don't know shit. You don't know anything that you're saying. You're just talking a bunch of shit out your ass. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you telling me, like, you don't know shit. But you better keep your voice down, and you better talk to me like a human being. Other than that, I'm willing to listen to everything that you have to say. I'm willing to listen to everything that you have the ability to give to me for me to learn from you. But if you're just giving something to me because you don't like something out of that, and then you want to give someone the information to say that I have no information to say out of that, I don't want anything out of that. I don't. It does not give the propriety for me to say, hey, I may be wrong. But it does when someone else wants to yell. And then you want to say, hey, because I'm on Snapchat and I made a good song based off twerking, I should listen to them more. And that annoys the ever-living shit out of me. It really does. Like, it's not the fact that you like the song, it's just the fact that you listen to them even more to increasing rate because you put them on a pedestal and you listen to them more. It has nothing to do about the song. It has zero shit to say about you being on the song. It's the fact that you think that that's okay. You think that that's okay. You think like, oh, I have no understanding, so I'm gonna follow people that have a basic quote unquote understanding, and that's bullshit. Like, read your fucking history. It's okay if you don't know the history. I don't know a lot either, and that's perfectly okay. Like, I'm not saying like you have to do that. I'm not saying you have to know everything, but don't act like you know shit just to be part of it. Don't be part of the fucking ship or the pirate ship or whatever the fucking ship you want to call it, and then say you know what the fuck's going on when you really don't know shit. Like, makes zero fucking sense. Zero fucking sense to me. Now, if you don't like who I am, then don't read me, don't watch me, don't do anything, don't support me, don't do that, don't do that bullshit. Like, and don't tell me like you don't support me. Just create a video about it, actually do creation, and then do the work for that. How about that? At least you did the work to provide more creation for what it was. At least you did that. Other than you like saying like I typed out a 40-second 9 essay and then I obviously burned him. No one gives a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about that. Because I know how many years I've worked into this. I put 5 years into this. And then you don't even understand the extra 10 years in order for me to do this. So you don't know shit. You don't know shit. Now, I already see a lot of people on Snapchat saying, shut the fuck up. But honestly, when I see them getting their nails done. I see them getting much more views in order to get more views, in order to propagate more views from there. Why would I give a fuck about somebody that propagates more fucking views when in reality, I don't even know their views, and then they're telling someone to shut the fuck up? When do they really know the history, or are they just following? And then you're having your own leaders that are telling you to follow something that you never followed in yourself, and then thus you followed everything, become part of that own very self that you've never wanted to follow in to begin with. And then you're literally being in the same fucking maze that you've created yourself in. And then I have to come in here, and then I have to literally laugh at you while you're laughing at me, because you're literally laughing at the same thing that I'm laughing at. That does not make fucking sense. And I hope you understand what I'm saying when it makes sense and when it doesn't make sense. Like, for me, at least my shit makes sense. Like, it may not make sense to you, but if it doesn't make sense to you, it's because you're too fucking lazy to go back in the timeline, to read everything, to go through the timeline, and then say, oh, that's why he said that it did. Oh, 6 months ago he said that, and that's exactly what happened. But no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to go through that work. You don't want to be part of that work. You don't want to say that I am part of that work. So in which you are just on the top of the layer. It's like me serving you a fucking baked fucking cake on fucking whipped cream with everything else on top, with a cherry and strawberry on top. And then you're like, do I just get the icing and I don't even get the cherry or the cake? And you're getting mad at me because you don't understand, but it's only because you didn't actually do the fucking work to understand it. It's not my fault. I gave you the work. I gave you the information. I gave you everything ability to understand what I'm saying. But because you didn't put the work in to read my shit, to understand what I gave you to get what you got, you have to say, I blame Shiloh because I don't understand to blame what he got to get what I got. And I'm not playing this little fucking YouTube video game. I'm not. If you want everything, you want the real shit, then you have to put the work in. Sorry, my bad. Oh, sorry, my bad. But all artists around here that actually watched it, people that actually put in time to what actually I did, they're like, wow, that's really fucking good. But people that are like, hey, I don't understand shit, I don't know shit, I don't know what's going on with this, it's because you didn't want to read it. You wanted to read fucking 4 or 5 blanks of the plate of what I did. You wanted to read only an hour of what I've done. And then you wanted to say, like, oh, I don't get it, I don't like it. Good. I hope you don't like it because you did not dedicate any time. People that usually don't like what I've done usually have never even looked at what I've done to at least a year's past. A year's past. So what am I saying? Like, that means a lot of my information comes from 4 years past, 5 years past. So you're the problem, not me. I've told everybody this. You gotta look back in order to understand. Period. You gotta look back in order to get back to that shit, period. And if you're not willing to do the work, I really don't give a rat's ass what you think about, because I know what I'm fucking doing. I know what I'm doing. I don't give a shit. Because people that actually looked at the work and they get it, they're like, wow. It all makes sense. But to you, you're like, oh, I've watched at least 6 months, so obviously I should know everything. No, sorry, that's not gonna cut it. Sorry, I don't care. That doesn't cut it for me. And if you want that, then you need to work your ass off to understand it, or just keep hating. Because I'd rather have a hater than have someone that acts like they know shit.